Hello and welcome to a demonstration video into my organic sequencer. Here's the idea. We take organic audio from nature, like birdsong or spoken word, or you could even record traffic. Anything that is organic. We put that into my sequencer, which will turn it into a MIDI message. We can use that to create our own inspired rhythms from nature. So I am going to use this sample from a red grouse, and this is what it sounds like. Now I chose this deliberately because, as you can see, the transients are nice and big. It's enough audio for the threshold to detect all of those peaks. So what we're going to do is click and drag that organic audio into our organic sequencer, like so. Now we're not going to hear this because we're just sending it through the MIDI engine that I've created. First things first, we're going to bring the gain right down. We're going to click this button here to turn the quantize off, and we can see that we're getting a little bit of audio. So we're going to keep bringing that up. So we're going to click play here. Well, hey, there we go. We had one just flick through. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep this quantize clicked like this, which means it's off at the moment. We're not going to try and quantize it to a grid. I've got my gain quite high up here. Now, as you can see, this metronome, this is the internal clock of Ableton. I've got my transport playing here, and this is our beat divisions. As we can see, we can change them here from 1N. If we do it to 2N, it's going to count every 2 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. So we'll put it back to 1N and we'll keep that off for the moment. And what we can do now is click in a region that we've got a bit of free space. I've set up another audio track underneath to capture that audio. So my input is drift, which is the instrument that I'm using. And if we merely hit record, and then what you've got to do is click play. Click stop on the organic sequencer and then stop recording in your transport. Now this is where the fun happens. It's not going to be incredibly accurate, and that's not what we want, is it? If we're making organic audio, we want something quite interesting and new. That's the idea of this device, is to inspire a new rhythm and new ideas and generate new ideas. So what I like to do is click and drag it over and just see what we've triggered, really. If we bring this almost to the first transient here, we can see, look, they are somewhat matching up, especially this region here. And then what you can do next is turn this quantization on. And what that's going to do is every time the metronome hits or clicks, that'll let through one note dependent on your beat division. So if we click up here and let's turn the metronome on, which it is, I need to reverse that, it doesn't look great. We're going to go to 1N, so that is just the first beat of the bar. So if I turn on the metronome, we can see that the metronome visualizer here is clicking. Now the one below, this is actually our audio beats, which is coming from our audio region, going through into MIDI and then back out to audio. So if I were to click this one, we'd see it going at the bottom. There. So when you have these both going at the same time, what you can do is kind of take notes away here. We've got the audio looping in the background, as you can see, so you can just press spacebar, ready. And then play around with these beat divisions. So if I go to 4N, that would count every beat of the bar. Let's go a bit crazy. Let's do 16N. See what happens. I don't know. And then when I'm clicking these X's here, that's actually going to skip, or you could say mute, that step in the sequence. So let's just choose these two. And let's do some more recording and see what weird rhythms we can come up with. So now I've generated some audio from audio, I guess, but this is our organic rhythm. We've taken this red grouse that's made quite an interesting call. We've turned that into MIDI. We've been triggering a MIDI device and then turning that back into audio. So now we're left with these particular rhythms, which might sound simple, but I never imagined and deliberately wrote these as a rhythm. This has come organically. So now this can be implemented into music. So this bit, I quite like that. So I'm going to just chop that region. I'm going to take it over here and I'm going to consolidate that. And now we can play with it. We can see at 120 BPM, we're not lying on the grid perfectly, but that's just natural, isn't it? So I might just stretch this a little bit. And this one here, I'm just going to bring over a little bit. It's not perfectly on the start, but you know what? I do not mind. Let's put a beat behind it. Okay, so I have this drum loop behind, which is just a generic house beat. It's a loop, but let's use it for a bit of context and see if this rhythm can meld in and maybe give us a bit of swing and a bit more groove. So as you can see, I've actually kind of stretched this. I've kind of warped it a little bit. I've actually fit it into the first two beats here. And we've got a nice little triplet in the second beat there, which I think fits quite nicely. Again, it's not perfectly on the grid, but I don't care. I don't mind. That is organic, and it gives it a kind of real. And the next thing you want to do is probably play with the timbre and the sound of this. And there we have it. This is my rudimental way of making organic audio, organic rhythms with my organic sequencer, which is still in production stages. So thank you very much for watching this video. I do sincerely appreciate it, and it's going to go towards my research project. I want to know your thoughts, what you like, what you don't like. If you didn't like anything, that's good information. Let me know. Is there any parameters you would add to this device? Is there anything you would take away? Would you use this device? Because we're all different musicians. We compose electronic music, rock music, funk, folk, you name it. This might not be applicable for you, so let me know. Or if it is applicable for you, if you're making a different type of music, again, like rock or folk, would you use this to generate ideas and different rhythms for your music? Again, thank you very much. After you've completed this survey, there will be a discount code at the bottom of this survey for you to download one of my free sample packs that is coming from my EP that I'm releasing next month. That song has been made from noise, just milliseconds, and you'll be getting 20 odd samples that I've created myself. I'm selling it for £2 at the moment, but for you, for completing this survey, it's all free. Grab the discount code in the next page after you've completed the survey. Thank you all so much. Wishing you all the best with your studies. See you soon.